Hello folks, this is Freedom Fighter. Today is Thursday, July the 18th, 2024. For months and months, Goldilocks, myself, Jester, Wiley Morgan, and others, we've been telling you that exchanges will be done at banks. Your exchanges will be done at banks. So the question that now the answer is here. The question: are redemption centers fact or fiction? Are redemption centers fact or fiction? Goldilocks has shared the answer right here in front of us directly from the Federal Register, the Code of Federal Regulations, now implemented, documented with the National Archives. It was just presented to us from the Federal Register on July the 15th, 3 days ago. We're going to jump right into this amazing information. Goldilocks goes on. Redemption centers updated on July 15, 2024 via the Code of Federal Regulations. According to the Federal Register, 12 CFR Code of Federal Regulations, Part 240, also known as Retail Foreign Exchange Transactions. Also known as Retail Foreign Exchange Transactions. According to the Federal Register, 12 CFR Part 240, aka Retail Foreign Exchange Transactions, covers the authority, the purpose, and scope of the regulation, as well as the definitions used in the regulation. So here we have regulation laws that are now implemented that covers this new code, federal regulations, aka also known as retail foreign exchange transactions. Folks, aren't we going to be exchanging our currencies? Aren't they considered retail foreign exchange transactions? Let's continue. Section 240.4 of the regulation states that a banking institution must notify the board before starting a retail forex business. So this is a regulation, and it's stating that a banking institution must notify the board before starting a retail forex business. A retail foreign exchange transactions done at retail forex businesses. Goldilocks continues. This notification must be provided in writing and in compliance with Section 240.4, which requires the following: treatment of existing retail forex businesses, banks; compliance with the Commodity Exchange Act, banks. Other sections of the regulation include Section 240.13D prohibits a related person of a banking institution from having an account with another retail foreign exchange counterparty unless a person designated by the banking institution sends proper written authorization to open and maintain that account. So what this is saying, in order for a foreign exchange institution to do business with another foreign exchange counterpart, they must send in writing from one banking institution to the other and make sure that accounts are set up properly. Sounds like there's certain regulatory guidelines they must follow as a bank. Let's continue. That was Section 240.13. We're going to Section 240.12. Requires specific authorization and no banking institution may directly or indirectly affect a retail forex transaction for the account of any retail forex. Requires specific authorization, and no banking institution may directly or indirectly affect a retail forex transaction of the account of any retail forex. So it must be a banking institution, ladies and gentlemen. This information should clarify, Goldilocks says, where redemption centers really are inside a bank, and what is involved in holding a retail foreign currency exchange account. It is important to note that these guidelines have just recently been updated and amended. What this means, folks, this is not a new law. This is just the amended law. Now, a regulatory process, a regulation has been implemented in the Federal Register, recorded in the Federal Register, now in the National Archives, as it pertains to a banking institution. Your bank, a bank, is a redemption center. We know for a long time there have been those who have claimed of these new buildings that are supposedly being constructed, where you are to go to the third, fourth, fifth floor to exchange your currency, or to the porta potty out in the parking lot in front of this redemption center to go through a certain process to be verified to get inside the redemption center or these top security, highly classified locations where you would go to do your exchanges. Well, the Federal Register now has an amended regulation stating clearly, according to the Federal Register, also known as retail foreign exchange transactions, covers the authority, purpose, and scope of the regulation as well as the definitions. The regulation states that a banking institution must notify the board before starting a retail business. This does not say the third or fourth floor of a newly constructed building that is allegedly a redemption center is going to do foreign exchange or can legally do foreign exchange transactions. This states that a banking institution which follows certain guidelines and regulations is authorized to transact foreign exchange transactions. Goldilocks has been covering this topic for several months, even showing with the Commodities Future Trade Commission that swap facilities and swap participants and their guidelines and regulations, which swap participants in swap facilities are banks regulated to participate and conduct foreign currency exchanges. So here we have an amended regulation, again, archived in the National Archives, recorded in the National Archives, in writing, that banking institutions are your foreign exchange transaction facilities. For those that you've been listening to that allegedly has these people, connections, relationships with these supposed folks who are allegedly over redemption centers, and you're to go and provide your currency for exchange at these places, you may want to begin to question not necessarily what you've heard, but what you have believed and what you've been told about these places. And if it were me, I would even question why it was said, and I would question everything else that was said along with such redemption centers that were being built and constructed for exchanges to be done at. Question yourself why you believed those things, and question why you believe everything else that was said along with that. I know there are some people that are listening to this that are from Missouri, the show me state. Well, just imagine you're all from Missouri and you've just been shown directly from the Code of Federal Regulations that banks or retail foreign exchange transactions will be conducted at banks. All right, folks. If you have any questions, please feel free to come on into the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room, and we will answer any further questions you may have about this topic. One last question before we go. Are redemption centers fact or fiction? If you're talking about a bank, it's a fact. If it's not a bank, you know the answer. We love you. We appreciate you. Show someone unconditional.